Yeah,
The
yeah.
committee put their heads together and they started their own thing.
Hey y'all, it's Izzy Harrison and you're tapping in with the committee.
What's up, guys? This is Azari Stevens, and you're tapping in with the committee.
Big shout out to the committee. Y'all hold it down for us.
Shout out to the committee. Come on, rocking with the committee.
What was the other stuff? Let me make sure before we start
committee.
stuff.
Some people ain't gonna like it,
Sorry, Yana.
and some people will.
Oh, it can be clipped. Is it live? Oh, we
Yeah,
live?
we live.
Okay, period.
Y'all was just talking over the intro.
I was like, I heard it behind the scenes.
Hey, everybody.
Damn.
Welcome everybody to the Busted Baby.
Hey, everybody.
The busted bracket.
Busted.
Busted wide open. Then I told her
Busted.
bring it back.
Is you
Busted
in
wide
it?
open. Then I
Oh.
told
Rick
her
getting
bring it back.
demonetized off of it.
Open. Then I tell her bring
2020,
it
we
back.
were all in the
Busted,
house. It was such an amazing time for the Busted Challenge. But yes, the brackets have been revealed.
The shoes have been revealed.
The shoes have been bought for some. So on a count of three, I want everybody to give their first thought to the reveal of the bracket. 1, 2, 3.
Respect.
Don't care.
None of them like,
I have thoughts. I don't have a word, but I got thoughts. I have a lot
that's
of thoughts.
interesting, Shay. Why that reaction?
Oh.
I think we got cheated. Like, I think that we should have been the third number one, not Texas.
I agree.
And I'm pretty sure if I just read Lindsey Gottlieb's frustration, she agrees too. Like, we're the only team in the country that beat UCLA, not once, but twice. The only team
Can I
that did
say
it.
this? Because I tweeted this and a lot of people came to me and was like, well, they had to make sure Texas didn't go to Spokane or Southern Cal didn't go to Birmingham. Y'all, that was never going to be an option. Once it was determined that we had two West Coast teams being a 1 seed and there were two teams because Texas is kind of in the middle, and then South Carolina East Coast teams being there, it was always going to be Texas and South Carolina and Birmingham and UCLA and Southern Cal and Spokane. It don't matter where they ended up. It was always going to be that way. So the way the brackets work, I'm gonna help y'all out.
The girlies.
The way the brackets work, they start with the overall number 1 and they say, where are you closest? UCLA. You're closest to Spokane. We're sending your ass to Spokane. Oh, South Carolina, you're number 2. You're closest to Birmingham. We're sending you to Birmingham. Oh, Southern Cal, you're the overall number 3 because I think they should have been overall number 3. We're going to send you to Spokane because that is still an option and you're closest there. Now, the 4th overall 1 seed, they get the last spot. They go wherever they want to go. So earlier in the year, when it was Notre Dame as a possible 1, South Carolina as a possible 1, and Texas as a possible 1, that's where you would have seen a possible East Coast team get shipped to Spokane, and it would have been that 4th overall number 1. So them moving Southern Cal to the overall number 4, well, the 4th number 1 was because they thought Southern Cal was the 4th 1 seed. And that's where the conversation can begin of them being stupid because Southern Cal was not the 4th 1 seed. They should not have been the 4th 1 seed. They were at least 3.
Okay. And so with that, I guess, do we feel that same thing kind of happened to some of the 2 seeds as well, that they probably got shifted around unjustly, or even some of the 3, because there were some surprises with those teams that
I don't feel bad about the 2s and the 3s because you just get shifted where you get shifted based on the 1s. Like, it is what it is. Like, there's a lot of rules that happen once those 1 seeds are there. There's some conferences you can't have people from the same conference as 1 and 2 on the same side if you don't have to. So there's like a lot of rules with that. So they just get shifted based on where they get shifted. But I do think that Southern Cal and UConn got hold, in my opinion, because if Southern Cal was the 3rd number 1 seed and Texas was the 4th number 1 seed, Texas and UConn end up in Birmingham. And I do think that UConn should have been in Birmingham.
Okay. And so go ahead.
I think more conversation should have took place around the 1 seeds. I think USC, UCLA, and South Carolina are all very clearly 1 seeds, whether it's based off of RPI, SOS, wins and losses. But I think that 4th seed deserved more conversation because, to the committee's point, which they used against South Carolina about competitiveness in losses. UConn's losses to SC, Notre Dame. Anybody else I'm missing?
They have 3 losses. They lost to somebody else.
Texas.
Okay, who?
Tennessee. UConn lost to Tennessee, right?
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Okay,
Yeah.
those 3 losses. Then you got Texas, who's lost to South Carolina in a blowout, South Carolina in a blowout, and then Notre Dame in a close loss. Out in their non-con, they did not play anybody else more challenging than UConn, in my opinion. Their
I-
conference play or their conference schedule, of course, helped their resume. But to the point that Don was making is that if teams that schedule tough in the non-con are going to be penalized, then one, we need to change and shift the way that bracketing and scheduling works. But also, then I think more emphasis has to be placed on how you lose in conference. And if that is going to be the case, then Texas to me isn't the definitive 4 seed. And that leaves room to consider UConn.
So was I the only one when they were doing, even though you saw the numbers there on the screen, was I the only one thinking that they were going to find a way possibly to make UConn that 4th number 1 seed?
I don't think that it would be finding a way. I think they could have been the 4th 1 seed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Because
people would have
I said
been
it
more
on
of an
Faces.
uproar if they were.
I mean, it might
said it
have
on
been.
Faces. I thought they had an argument,
I did too.
especially once Texas lost the way they lost on
Twice.
Sunday. I thought they had an argument, and that's why it annoys me so much when the selection committee person came on TV and talked about competitive in losses. And to specifically, that's been something they've said multiple times when it comes to South Carolina. And Texas got the ass beat twice by South Carolina, really badly. And then, like, when you look at Southern Cal's losses, Southern Cal hasn't gotten their ass beat in
Ever.
any of their losses. They went into Iowa, they lost to Iowa. It was still a good game, and let's be real, playing at Iowa is not easy. And
I mean,
then,
they UCLA on the ropes. Does that
exactly. And so the team that you're saying is the overall one, like you're telling us the overall one, Southern Cal beat this team twice at Southern Cal
and lost by
at
5 in the championship? It ain't like they even blew us out in the championship. They lost by 5.
Exactly.
My issue with the UCLA thing, and again, that's why I think the ones could have been examined more, even the order of the ones, is because UCLA's entire resume is built on 2 teams. South Carolina's, USC's, UConn's, even Texas, all can speak to about 5 to 10 teams. South Carolina's got way more than that. Competitive wins, competitive losses, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. UCLA's entire mystique is built on losing to USC twice, beating South Carolina in November. That's it. They struggled against Michigan State in conference, struggled against Iowa in conference, struggled against Michigan in conference. None of those teams are comparable to some of the teams that the other teams have played. Now, we do know that there's a matchup that USC lost to Iowa, but if we're going to compare, UCLA also struggled with them. So if I'm comparing totality of conference, outside of UCLA and USC, the Big Ten is far weaker than the SEC. So if we're saying that UCLA is the best team in the country, we're predicating that on a November win against South Carolina and 2 losses to USC. When the SEC on the flip side, you've got Kentucky, who's a 4 seed. You've got Oklahoma, who's a 3 seed. You've got LSU, who's a 3 seed. You've got Texas, who's a 1 seed. You got Ole Miss, who's a 5. You've got Tennessee, who's a 5. You got Alabama, who's a 5. You've literally got at least 6 to 7 top teams right at the top of the conference that your South Carolina, your Texases, and LSU's are playing night in and night out. So I don't think there's, like, with the non-con being weak and the conference play not being strong, I don't see how that is the overall 1 seed.
Okay. And so
I think sorry, B.
no, go ahead.
Just my last overall thought, and I tweeted it, is that I don't, how do you say it? Spokane? I actually don't care how you say it right, because I am frustrated that we're sending, after the stuff that happened with Utah last year, we're sending a bunch of black teams up there to
Oh, I
play
forgot
basketball.
that.
Mhm.
And so that part, I just feel like we just completely skated over that last year. And now we
We
got
did.
a whole bunch of black teams that it's not just one. In Utah, it's not like they don't even have as many black teams as like a Ole Miss, as us, as like we're sending all of them up there. Like, I just feel like there are just so many complicated things that are not basketball related that could happen in that side of the bracket.
Because
So
what the Spokane people end up having to stay in that Idaho city, right?
Coeur d'Alene. Coeur d'Alene. They had to stay there.
Yeah, because there's not enough hotels in Spokane, correct?
Right.
But also, with that being said, we've heard in the past that certain cities have to have an allotted number of certain quality hotels.
Yeah.
So how is Spokane even
And see,
an option?
has that come to the NCAA level yet? Because I know
Yeah,
that's
I mean, the
with,
university,
with
like
Super Bowl
Columbia,
and
hasn't been
All-Star.
able to host a regional in the men's side because of the city of Columbia not having a certain amount of hotels to accommodate teams. Like they've got enough hotels, they're just not like a certain level
Yeah,
of quality
I know
hotel.
with the Pro Leagues, you have to have a certain amount of 4-star hotels. In the book.
Yes. That
Okay.
yeah, it's been a thing in college. So just to kind of echo Shay's point, that is definitely a point that should have been acknowledged for sure.
But you know, you saw them pictures. That was white women. They was not going to acknowledge the fact that nobody was going to play in no hick town
True.
out of Spokane.
Okay.
I'm just saying we have a lot of off the court stuff that could really
That
derail
could
this
take place.
whole thing.
You're right.
Absolutely.
Especially the climate of the country, for sure.
Yeah.
Exactly, especially now. Like if we are, I mean, yes, we were always still the same, but a year removed, we're a lot more shit than what we were previously.
A lot more boldness.
So I do have a question now that we've gotten over our first thoughts when it comes to the games. Now, here, what are some of the matchups that, like first glance, that you're really looking forward to?
Y'all want to go
Maryland,
region by
Norfolk.
region?
B, you want to go? B, I
Yeah,
got it
let's go
region by
region by
region.
region.
Okay, let's do
I got it
region by
broken
region.
up. We want to start with the first four.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna do some music.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, and then I didn't put that one up. First four, y'all gonna have to squint. This one a little tiny. So the first one is High Point, and first of all, shout out to William and
Shout
Mary.
out to Kania.
Coach E. I know where you been. I know where you came from, big dog. Congratulations.
Sugar Rogers over there too, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
we got a whole DMV squad. Put your
That's
accent
a
on
name I
the
ain't
thing. Leave
heard
the
in a
accent.
minute.
I'm happy for William and Mary.
Say it
I'm
again.
not saying it again. I'm not saying it again. But
Okay,
I'm rolling
okay.
with them to win. I'm rolling with them.
Right. Keep it going. Might as well go ahead and keep it going. I mean, what they did 4 in 4 days. Go ahead and make this a fifth.
I was so proud of them. That was really dope.
Oh.
Southern U and UC.
I'm interested. Honestly, I feel like all those games could be interesting, but I'm really interested to see the Columbia and Washington one.
Yes,
That's
agree.
the matchup of the round.
Agree.
Washington.
Need that Iowa
what's her
State
name?
Princeton. Need
What's
that.
our good sis? What's her name? Sellers?
Xavier at Washington.
Yes. She
Stellis.
goes.
What's her name? Say what's her name?
Savia or Xavier?
It's Xavier.
Something like that.
Xavier.
Man.
She can light it up.
Right.
But her teammates, Jordan, did you travel?
Iowa State over Princeton for me.
I need
Princeton
that.
don't got nothing down low that's hang with
Does Princeton have a big?
no, not that. I mean,
It
not
don't.
that.
Yeah, but when Iowa State isn't knocking down perimeter shots, and if they
It
play
looks
shit,
nasty. It look
Yeah.
nasty.
That's true.
And Princeton
think
gonna run
so.
them sets if nothing else. They
they will run them sets.
I'm gonna
I'm gonna go Iowa State though.
I'm gonna go with UC San Diego because that's a Vanderveer. She probably borrowing her sister the Bob's clipboard, and they got some good things there. And they were really fun team to watch here in the Big West.
Tar got a good clipboard.
Yeah, B, you know that's what they. I mean, Lo, you know that's what they know her for.
She's
Dave.
she had some success, but so I feel
No,
like
okay, success is success, but I'm talking about clipboard type shit.
That's what they know her for.
I'm asking. I don't remember, child. I'm
I would
genuinely
think
asking.
I would think that something's there that's probably rubbed off on her sister. So yeah, I'm gonna go with UC San Diego.
Because
Shout out
not
to
playing
the-
Lauren Betts, I don't know, sister.
Not
That's
Nepo
not a
coming into
clipboard.
play.
That's a choice.
Yeah.
After that, what the fuck we talking about?
Are we going to the UCLA one?
Yep.
Yes.
Now we're gonna go to Spokane one.
Ooh.
Immediately, what stands out to me? Oof.
Florida
Baylor,
State, George
Grand
Mason.
Canyon.
Ole Miss and Baylor were the one,
Oh,
the
yeah.
possible matchup of Ole Miss and Baylor. Just because y'all saw Coach O's face when they put that
She was
camera
like-
on him. She was not happy. And I agree with her. I low-key think Ole Miss did enough to host this year. So I think matchup-wise, especially with their defense and stuff, if they can get some shots to fall, they can walk out of Waco.
Okay, hear me out.
Harvard, Michigan State.
Hear me out. Hear me out. When I do my bracket, Michigan State is making the Sweet 16.
I mean, that ain't like
I can see
ain't
it.
like a. That's not
If
a
they
far
get
off shot.
past Harvard, I think they can knock NC State in the mouth.
I can see it.
Forget all that. LSU is gonna be out in the second round. Florida State is handling that. I said it last week. I'm saying it again.
You did. Now let me say something for her though. Last week when she said that, it did sound crazy, but now when
Uh-oh.
Damn, Lo.
that's
she
a
about
good
to
game,
hit
now
it.
Tay
Wait,
might
you
gotta
gotta
be
go
that
back.
crazy.
You gotta go
Wait,
back.
go back,
You
Lo, you froze.
Say it again. Go ahead.
Oh, I
You
froze.
froze. Yeah.
Yeah, you froze. Go
I
ahead.
said, okay. Last week, Tay said that shit that they could be out in the second round, and it sounded crazy. We like, no, what the fuck? It would never be a second round matchup that LSU could possibly be out in. But looking at them having the potential to match up with Florida State, that's a little touchy. Now. I don't know, but when you see that matchup, what Tay said is not as crazy as it sounded.
It's not.
Hey, man.
If 4 versus
Four
Tenaya
sins
on
better
national
be
TV,
okay, because if not, she not guarding Latson. I hope the sins or whatever else is together.
Because
you're gonna have to work all
think about
40
the
minutes,
matchup
baby.
between the possible matchup of Morrow and Timpson alone. And if Morrow isn't fully healthy, they were still in the boot on the screen when they showed them. I don't know how healthy they are, but if she's not healthy, that Timpson matchup, both energy players, they rebound well, block shots, defend, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, if you get to Florida State that played the way they did when they went to Notre Dame,
Man,
it's gonna get interesting.
right?
Need that.
So, all right, you said that. I know they played because they won at Notre Dame,
yes.
Yes.
but we know it's a difference going to the PMAC.
Yes.
It is.
Do you feel like that can over?
But Notre Dame got a crowd. Notre Dame crowd ain't no hoes.
Right, I know Notre Dame people show up too, but the calls don't really usually be like how it be. At
I don't think Florida State is a team that needs, like, when you go to LSU and you're an underdog, if you don't beat them, if you're not up by 20 going into the fourth, you're not winning the game.
Right.
However, most teams that do that don't have a Tenaya Latson on their team.
That's what I'm saying.
Having Tenaya, and I did not pick this upset. I personally would never pick against LSU in the first 2 rounds. That's just not my religion. However, Tenaya Latson is one of them players that like whatever that ref noise is supersedes that. She is good enough to get her team over. Lord Jesus help us.
And
Lord.
Tenaya,
She
dog.
said I don't even want to be on the selection show.
You start that barking. You start that barking at Tenaya. She gonna respond on the court.
And the team gonna respond for her.
He gonna hoop.
Katie making a good point in the chat.
Say it helps. You know how they say sometimes it helps just to have the best overall player in the game. They gonna have the best overall player in that game. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna take
Driving
her
distance,
over
it
whatever
is.
LSU got over there.
Yeah, Katie is saying FSU is driving distance to LSU. So we'll see. That's gonna be interesting. All right. So who we got coming out of this
yeah,
one,
'cause
y'all?
they are kind of on
UCLA.
the. They're on
UCLA
what is
coming out of here?
handle.
Yeah, I think UCLA actually
What's up with you?
All right.
handles
Here we
that.
go. We're gonna go to y'all then.
The matchup I'm looking forward to seeing
Okay.
is
Maryland, Norfolk State.
Maryland and
Like,
Norfolk State gonna be the best
Yeah.
first round game.
Bro, y'all should walk to the Final Four. I don't want to hear shit.
Yeah,
Tay, don't
South Carolina. I
start that
mean,
shit.
I don't want to
Duke
hear
as your
shit.
two.
Y'all should walk to the
What'd you say,
ignoring
Shay?
but
State.
walk.
Duke as y'all's two. But Vandy, man, ooh,
That Vandy Duke, a possible Vandy Duke matchup could be very
Bloodbath.
fun.
That's
gonna
gonna be
be-
bloodbath.
yeah.
I'm excited for a potential West Virginia versus
Ooh.
North Carolina.
You know what
Mhm.
interests me? What interests me is Jordan Oliver. Didn't she go to Duke and then went to Vanderbilt?
Yes.
She went to. That's
Yes.
interesting.
How many schools she been to?
Baylor,
Three.
Duke,
Baylor,
Vandy.
Duke, and Vandy.
Yeah.
North Carolina. Now let me out. I don't know. I have no clue what Oregon State looked like. I don't know. I never watched them play this season, but I know that's a good ass coach. So I'm interested to see what he do in this North Carolina matchup.
He got hype. He got. I think.
He
some of
got-
those-
I don't even got to know what the team looked like. I just know that little man could coach.
Yeah. Some of the.
Is
Some, I think
SB
some of the
healthy for
players
North
who were
Carolina?
freshmen.
He got like
Uh,
mid versions of his players from last year. They're
Yeah.
like he's like literally the same team, but the mid version.
And they just play as a team. And some of those girls who were freshmen during the 2021 Final Four. I mean, during the 2021 tournament, are now seniors. That girl, I think, because you remember he had like a few 6'8" and 6'7" players and stuff on there. He has some height, but he got this girl who's Kat. She's a transfer from Baylor, who was their
Yeah,
most player.
was she Brazilian?
Yeah, she's
somebody-
Brazilian. I think it's Brazilian or Spain, one of those countries. Yes, but she was the most outstanding player for the West Coast Conference. Like she's an energizer. She's kind of undersized, but she's bouncy and she can go and grab rebounds like crazy. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do. But
if I had to do
they ain't
if
got no
I had to
hands.
do an upset bracket here, West Virginia versus Vandy to go to
All right,
the
let's
sweep.
Okay,
I like it. I can
I
see
do,
it.
have us coming out of this round though. I'm
Yes,
Yeah,
I'll
South
take
Carolina,
South Carolina.
everybody.
I
Yeah.
would hope so.
Shut up.
right, here we
Tay,
go.
not too much, Tay.
Why he
Texas.
said it like that? I would hope so.
Like,
Ooh,
It's the Texas one.
Tennessee will get their rematch with Texas.
I
And-
think so.
It's so weird seeing them not host. To be honest,
Why? You talk about Tennessee?
yeah.
They haven't done that
Why?
consistently.
They hosted last year, right?
Yeah, they're typically a consistent host.
Not the year before
well.
last.
Really? Okay, well,
I think I got Notre Dame coming out of here.
I can see somebody else other than
Ooh.
Texas coming out of this bracket.
I actually see Notre Dame coming out as well. I think that they're going to get a rematch versus TCU, and they're going to win that one.
oh, they're gonna beat the shit out of them. For sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
Those are my two to come
like
out.
I think they're gonna get their rematch, and I think they probably gonna end up. I actually see
Look
Tennessee.
at Quentin.
I actually low key see Tennessee possibly beating Texas. Texas hasn't played well the last couple of weeks as far as scoring and
Y'all
stuff
gonna
goes.
pick against Vic in the tournament? That's Elite 8 Vic.
But hear me out.
So
Hear me out.
what?
Texas is such a. It depends on the matchup team, right? Like
Mhm.
if because they had no offensive schemes, right? If Tennessee with that wild ass defense, that's it. Just you don't know if Tennessee could stop it at the front line, we might have a game. If they let them throw that shit over their back, it's a wrap. So
Yeah.
you really just don't know. Like, and if
But Tennessee played Texas close.
They
At
did.
Texas. I think they lost by like 2 or 3 or something like that. And so they have familiarity with them. So it could be interesting. But they gotta get past Ohio State too.
I was about to say, is the Ohio State going
They don't got to get past Ohio
No.
Listen,
no.
if we don't know what Tennessee team we gonna get, we don't know what
Just-
Ohio State team we
All
gonna
I'm
get.
gonna say is this: until that man puts a harness and some leashes on the guard court, it's not happening. I'm not gonna say a collar, but at least a harness. No,
I know
no.
what you
And
mean. Yeah.
the reason I don't think Ohio State can beat Tennessee is because personally, although Tennessee does some dumb stuff, they do it at least with experience. Ohio State does it with inexperience. And all you really gotta do is make Cody try to go 1-on-1 and you
she
win the
will.
game.
All right, so who y'all got? We Notre Dame.
We
On the
might
count
be
Notre
split.
Dame.
I'm gonna go Texas. I'm sorry.
I'm going Notre Dame.
Shay,
Say who you got.
Notre Dame makes it out.
I think I'm rolling with the crash outs. Hidalgo.
Low.
It's hard.
If Low pick against the SEC, I'm gonna know something.
I want. I in my heart of hearts, I'm gonna go Texas.
Okay, same.
Love gonna say Montana State next.
3-1
Texas,
so far.
y'all. I'm gonna say Texas.
What
All
about
right,
you, Shay?
here's.
Y'all really trust Notre Dame to defend?
Oh,
I think
I-
all you gotta do is win one game. And I think
But
that
hear me.
if Notre Dame is scoring, can Texas score too? You
If
know?
Hannah is playing Air Force A1 Air Jam,
Yeah, like they have not shown me to be disciplined
But-
all season.
they might not even beat TCU.
But
Whoa.
Notre
Whoa.
Dame,
they gonna get their lick back
Nah,
on
I
that
don't
one.
think. Nah, I disagree.
Notre
Not
Dame
Dolores. You're
got
dragging me.
a defender that can defend Madison Booker. And we've seen as of late in games, Madison Booker has been very inefficient. So if you
I
can
hope they
slow
hear
Booker
you,
down,
Dolores.
I'm. Is it?
I got
easier
SC
to be-
in this one right here.
Is Texas a one-woman show? Yes. However, they've beaten a lot of teams because don't nobody got no answer for no 6'9", 6'7" girlies. South Carolina is an anomaly because a Sanaya, a Raven, and others rebound well out of position. Notre Dame hasn't proven that they rebound well out of position.
Can I help you?
TCU hasn't proven that, nor has Tennessee. So I think it's really hard to pick against a defensive team that knows how they want to win the game.
I don't think if you take Madison out of the game, you're done. Because if
Correct.
you notice in that South Carolina game, they didn't just take Madison out. They took Odeker and Taylor out. Taylor had about 10, 12, maybe.
but
10.
I think one reason they took Oldacre out the game was because she was having a hard time defending Chloe and Sanaya, and they were moving so well off the ball. So they worked well together off the ball. And I think what they have with Liatu and West Bell out there, they could also, if they can make Oldacre come out and defend, it could be something where Vic be like, I'm taking her ass out of the game too.
But
because
but
she's
those
struggling to
Notre
defend.
Dame doesn't play through their post enough for that to be important. You know what I'm saying? Like if Notre Dame was a team that played like we want to get our bigs involved, then our guards can be crash outs. They don't do that. West Bell just be out there running, and Liz Carlin and Koval just be out there standing.
I don't know, man. I think they can get it done.
I got
all right, here
Southern
go this
Cal in
one.
this one. But I think Iowa gonna make it to the Sweet 16. though.
Huh?
I'm excited to see Cal and Mississippi State.
That could be fun. I didn't even
Well,
realize
yeah,
Mississippi State made it.
all the other ones are. I feel like the higher seeds are going to win all the others, but coming out of this region, I definitely think USC comes out, especially if
Yeah.
Kiki they've been, even though they did suffer the loss, that 5-point loss, whatever, in the Big Ten championship, they've been feeling themselves a little better, I feel like, towards the end of the season. So I can see them win.
My best player versus your best player, USC wins. My team versus your team, UConn wins.
It very
feel
much
it.
depends on what Kiki we get. Because if she don't give us 20 and 10, it really doesn't. Juju could score 50, but it'll be,
She
and then we'll
better
have
play
60
like
as
she
a
want to
team.
be a pro in 2 weeks.
She's the difference maker for me. For Southern Cal to make it out of this region, she has to be the difference maker because we know what we're gonna get from Juju.
And
We
to be
already know
honest, looking at how this is set up, the top portion of this is harder than the bottom portion.
You think?
I mean, you
Yeah,
have
I agree,
Cal,
B.
Mississippi State, Kansas State, and Kentucky. And
I
I
agree,
mean,
B.
those mid majors aren't any slouches, but then compared to
I
Oklahoma,
think
Florida Gulf Coast, Oklahoma
SC
State,
got the harder
yeah,
quadrant. Yes.
Can I tell you
Say,
a
man.
conspiracy theory that I received today?
Give
Yeah.
it to me.
I had someone very smart say that they think that they're gonna give Jew a hard time in all of these tournaments because they don't want her to do the thing, which is win the title. That
Oh.
And
The
yeah.
other one couldn't do.
mhm. That is a conspiracy theory I was sent. I'm not
Was she
saying that it was
moving
from
quicker
me,
than she did, though? It
but
took
I
her to
do think
junior
that's
year
an
to get that far.
interesting. But I think they wanted a I also think somebody put it in the comments. They wanted Jew versus Paige again, and there's no guarantee you get it in the final four. So
So
Yeah.
remember early in the other girl's career, they did the y'all gotta play each other.
Yeah.
mhm,
Because they did it 2021, right?
yep, they
mhm.
did.
And at the time, Paige's team was a better team. They won.
Mhm. Yeah.
But
Mhm.
then following that, Caitlin's team made 2 championship games. So if that trend continues, Drew will at least be in some championship game.
I mean, we'll see. I think that we're all right about. Can I do a little shooty hoops, a little X's and O's real quick? Sorry,
Give us a little
just to
X and
show
O.
y'all. So
Teach us.
this is
Oh,
this
see,
is
Patty?
what we're gonna see. This is what I'm
Like
saying.
it.
This is the
I like
coverage.
it.
This is the
He just
coverage
ran, he just
that
ran
we
to the
saw.
board like Shaq and Kenny.
Indiana, Michigan, UCLA, they all did the same thing. Look at what they're doing. They're going to send everybody to Juju and they're going to make somebody else beat them. So Kiki did score on this play, right? But this was our
Sure.
answer when Michigan did it. Look at what happens when we take Rhea off the floor and Kiki plays the 5. Look at the spacing. You can't now because I got a shooter here, Juju's over there. But this means Kiki has to give you 20 and 10, right?
Yes.
Otherwise, it doesn't matter because she's not going to defend the other team's best big. That's why Rhea and Clarice have to play.
Have to play.
But this is what I
Shady
think
the
that we
magic
have
marker.
to do. Look, man, this is what I think that we have to do in order. One of the balances that we have to do. I know we hate men, but look at this high pick and roll. Now look at the space he has to play, right? That's what we got to do for Juju. Look at this. Look at where he's going. Look at that. Now imagine that's a big. That's a big in this country. Juju is either
This is
hitting the
making
3.
me
she's
They
want
going
didn't
to
put
the
you
to
on, they didn't put you on the
That's
team.
for shooter. But y'all get what I'm saying though. That's the
We do.
coverage. You either beat it or you don't. If you beat it, you're in the final 4. If you don't, you're gonna be at home and you're gonna be crying. The bun gonna be loose. It's really simple.
She said, I know we hate men, but
But I'm just saying, it's not hard. It's not rocket science. That's what the coverage is gonna be. Get the ball out of Juju's hands, make somebody else beat us. And if Lindsay can't do it, if she won't do it, then there'll be conversations at the end of the season.
Who do you have setting the pick, Rhea?
Yeah, if Rhea's going to be on the floor because she defends and she rebounds, get her out of the paint, have her come set a high ball screen because whoever is guarding Rhea is going to have to be in drop and be like, oh shit, what am I doing?
And that could, I mean, even if you do so, maybe Juju isn't the one scoring every time, but maybe that gives Rhea some room to work to get that mid range in.
Right.
Yeah.
Or if I'm collapsing on me, Avery Howe is there. That's a shooter, knockdown. Like it's Kennedy Smith. God forbid, baby, please don't shoot no more elbows from that corner, baby. You heard me.
She gonna be rested. Don't do
That
her.
baby was tired. She
That's a
was
knockdown.
tired.
You know what I'm saying? You're playing 4 and 5 at that point. So I think those are some things that we're gonna have to look for. And if we don't see them,
Yes.
But I do think that also when it comes to Southern Cal, what doesn't get talked about a lot with them is they have really good team defense. I do think that they
yes.
defend
Oh, for sure.
really well. Like their
If
perimeter
Kennedy
defense,
Smith was not on that team, they would not be a 1 seed.
No. And guess what game Kennedy came back? When we played UConn.
Mhm.
Clock it. Yeah.
All right.
That period. That just really just blessed my heart. We gotta do that a little bit more.
Sorry.
We're gonna move the convo over to spaces in a
Auntie gotta
little
go,
bit,
y'all.
but we want to take like 2 seconds if there's any final picks, final thoughts, final hot takes for the tournament. Now is your moment to be ready to get canceled. So get your cameras out,
I
get your notes app out, Get your screen recordings
I'm gonna
ready.
say what I gotta say.
Each committee member is going to give a little hot fire drizzle Texas Pete. Hold us accountable when it's time. Okay? Big Trojan horse, Trojan condom wrapper. What you got for us?
Oh Lord, what's the question? What am I doing?
What's your hottest take of the tournament? What's your picks? Give me something.
I think Iowa, based on that bracket, Iowa could get to an Elite Eight.
Sweet 16. Ooh.
And
Pass
they're very well coached, and if they get the calls, depending on who's repping those, y'all know how that whistle goes when it's Iowa. So that's my one.
Okay.
I like
V?
that.
My hot take is probably that Tennessee can make an Elite Eight too.
Okay.
You took mine. Oh
Okay.
gosh, I have to think again. Ooh.
Oh, we already did mine.
What was yours?
Give it to us again.
LSU is not making it past
Making
the
it-
second round.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yana?
I'm going to say that Ole Miss gonna beat UCLA. Fuck it. Now
I like that
I
one.
believe this, but
I
Ole
like
Miss
that
gonna
one.
beat UCLA. They got a game plan. If they can do
That's a
this
take.
game plan from 2 years ago, or was it 3 years ago with Cam, bring that sucker back to Spokane, lock Lauren Betts' ass up, and maybe knock down some shots in between.
Coach Yo gonna be down there guarding Bet. She gonna be like, I got it. Don't worry about it. I got it.
Fuck it. That's my
Low.
hot take.
Cox by 90, ho. That's all I got.
I'm gonna give 2. I don't know if this has ever happened, so if I'm wrong, let me know. Norfolk State will be the first HBCU to make a Sweet 16,
Ooh.
I like that one.
Ooh.
and UConn makes the championship game.
I don't think that's a hot take.
Man,
Okay,
that
that's
ain't
my
hot
2
take.
though.
I
that's
mean,
my
they was
2.
already talking like UConn is in the championship game anyway. So
You know, I don't listen to them. I'm gonna do this. I'm Dolores. But that's my 2. Hold us accountable. Drag us if you need to. Lo didn't really do one, so y'all can cuss at her.
Oh
But
my
we gonna move
God.
this. We gonna move this over to spaces. As we can see, y'all eyes are unrivaled.
Boo,
Good
I was about
night.
to do some boo.
Come on, come on,
And
come
we
on.
go into spaces.
Come on,
See y'all
Rob.
soon.
Come on, Ra.